Hey guys, got this video for you. This is going to be on a couple different drills you can do and a quick tip for aerials. A lot of people want to learn aerials because, let's face it, they're just a pretty cool move. Very impressive looking. For the most part, if you get the timing down, it's not a very complicated move. It's just really about the feel and, like I said, the timing. Once you get that down, like I said, it can be a very impressive move, but not very hard to do. However, it's very intimidating, especially someone new to balisongs. You are flipping a knife. I mean, it does have a sharp edge, unless of course you taped it or if you have a trainer. So it's intimidating. No one wants to get cut. I certainly understand that. I don't like getting cut, but you know what? We're playing with knives here, so you do have to have the understanding if you're going to play with a sharp knife, especially like this. Um, Chances are eventually you're going to get cut, even if you're really good. Even the best of us, we cut ourselves all the time. However, I'm going to give you some drills that I do that help with eye-hand coordination or hand-eye coordination, and a quick little tip on aerials. First, I'll give you the tip. When I do an aerial, okay, the one thing that I do that really helped me, and I actually had an old balisong guy, member on Blade Forums. He gave me this tip about 2 years ago, and I have to say it was the best thing I ever heard. It helped me with my aerials 110%. When you go to catch your knife, okay, actually let me latch this closed. Once you get the timing down, that's a separate issue, okay, but then it's a matter of catching it and catching it properly. Um, Once the timing's down, as you catch it, the biggest tip I can give you is that as the knife is falling, okay, don't just let it hit your hands, okay? Don't put your hand out there and just catch it, because you have a lot of impact there. As your blade, it's flipping around, as it's coming down, if you go to catch it, or what I do is I put my hand up in the air as I once I release it, I leave my hand there. As it's coming back down, okay, when I reposition wherever the knife is going to be, I move my hand with it down, okay? So once it kind of rests in my hand, there's less impact. If I keep my hand still, knife hits it, it's going to impact it, and chances are it's going to bounce off in all different funky directions, and it's going to be hard to catch it. However, if I move my hand with it as it's traveling down, it's going to be a softer blow in my hand. You're going to have more accurate catches. They're going to be more comfortable for you to actually catch and more successful. So hopefully that tip will help you out with aerials. Now onto the drills. This is just a very simple drill. I do this all the time in my balisong. It just helps with the hand-eye coordination and just to kind of strengthen up your finger and wrist muscles. It's just it kind of familiarizes yourself with the balisong and just gets you used to catching it when you're a little bit unaware. If you have your knife open or closed and you kind of drop it, it'll be second nature you just to catch it right away. So let me show you the kind of steps that I go through. And I don't do this, religiously, but every now and then just to kind of practice. So first thing I do is I keep the knife latched. I put it in my dominant hand. In this case, is my right hand because I'm righty. I'm going to give it a little flip. That's all. Really simple. Just kind of flip it in my hand. Try to catch it flat as opposed to on its side because obviously it'll be easier to catch flat. And just kind of flip it a little. Then I'll switch over. I'll try my non-dominant hand. Okay. It's going to be a little bit harder, but after a while you'll get it. Alright, so next thing I do, and I know some of you are probably scratching your head going, that kind of stupid and ridiculous, but let me tell you, it really does help. So, if you take the time to do this, it will help you in the long run. But they will get harder, as I'll show you right now. So first thing, just simple, flipping the hand. Next, everyone does this, sometimes totally naturally, you don't even think about it, you have something in your hand, you kind of flip it back and forth between hands. Okay, so do that for a little bit. Just get used to it, flip it around, do it the other way, and just do that. A couple passes back and forth. Then, to make things a little bit harder, flip it in your hand, your one hand, bring it over to the other hand, flip it in your other hand, and bring it back. So you have a pattern kind of like this. You can do 2 or 3 flips in one hand. Whoop. Let me start. I kind of got out of rhythm there. So just kind of back and forth, flipping it around. Doesn't seem too hard, right? You can get a little faster if you want. Mix it up with the flips. Just keep it in one hand for a couple throws. Bring it back, whatever you want to do. Just kind of help you familiarize yourself with where the knife is and catching it on instinct. Then you want to just repeat all the steps and process again, but with it unlatched. Not necessarily open yet, okay, but unlatched. It's going to be moving around a little bit, opening and closing a little bit, so it'll be a little bit more harder to do. Try that for a little bit. Switch over to one hand and the other. Flip it around a little bit. Alright, just playing around with it. Next, if you want, you could try it open. Now again, we're playing with a live blade here. If you're not comfortable with a sharp knife, please tape your edge. Take all precautions if you don't want to get cut. As well as the edge, a lot of people don't realize too is that the point to get stabbed or poked by the tip of your blade, especially a narrow point, it hurts even more than getting a slice from the edge. So make sure you build up your tape a little bit on the tip if you do decide to tape it up. But same deal. Flip it around. Let me back up just a little here. Flip it around, one hand. Now obviously be careful not to choke up too much where you're grabbing the blade. Okay, you don't want to grab the blade, but just the handle. That time I slipped up a little bit. Luckily I only hit the spine of the knife, of the blade. And then switch over, one hand to the other, in the reverse grip here. Flip it around, bring it to the front. Alright, and same as before, kind of flip one hand, bring it over. And as you get better with this, you can get a little bit faster. Sometimes I'll unlatch it, and as I'm doing this, I'll kind of do a move to change the position of it. Okay, so just play around with it, have fun with it, But, of course, be safe, don't get cut. If you need to tape your blade, please do tape your blade. But those are just some basic drills that I do. I know it may seem stupid to a lot of people, but it really has helped me out. Just to have that quick, second nature, fast reflexes, again, if you're dropping your knife. Now, I'm kind of a little contradictory here because I always say if you're doing a move and you don't feel comfortable and you drop your knife, don't try to catch it. Because chances are you're just going to grab the blade and cut yourself and hurt yourself. However, once you get better and you're more familiarized with your balisong, certain positions, if you're about to drop your knife, you can quickly catch it without cutting yourself. Again, if you're a beginner and you're not comfortable with something, just let it drop, let it fall. Better to, in most cases, not all the time, but in most cases it's better to let your knife just fall and hit the ground as opposed to trying to catch it and hurting yourself. Last thing you want to do is end up in ER with a couple of stitches. But again, these are just some drills, and one more time, that tip with the aerials, you want to catch it moving your hand with the knife, the handle. As it's coming in, move in with it, okay? So it's a nice soft impact into your hand. So there's my quick drills and my aerial tip, and I hope they're helpful. Once again, thank you for tuning in, watching the video. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.